That's a great question, and I appreciate everyone that is looking at the video going, "Yeah, that's great, but that's for you. That's not for me." Remember, guys, I was a long-haired hippie. Okay, I had dreadlocks down to below my butt, had a big goatee, and I'm not a college graduate. I didn't know how to raise capital. I went out and I found a mentor. I found someone, and I paid them a lot of money. I said, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to pay you a crap ton of money. You teach me everything you know." Watch, and I learn and I listen.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Israel Miller podcast. Today I'm here with my guest, Nitzan Mosery. He's an expert in the multifamily. I'm actually at a sub-2 meetup here in South Miami where he's the guest speaker tonight. So I just pulled him to the side right before we start, just so I can get him on stage before he just lights us on fire tonight. Like I already know I'm here listening to the conversations, and he's about to bring some heat to us tonight. So Nitzan, tell us a little bit about what it is exactly that you do and what it's like.
Yeah, sure. I'm in the multifamily and student housing world. Right. I go out and I buy apartment complexes, cities where students live close to universities. I raise capital from my network of people that I meet throughout the years, and we go out, we buy the properties, we manage them, raise the occupancy, raise the net, the income, hold it for a couple of years, and then we sell it off to another investor.
So before you got into multifamily, what were you doing?
So before that, I was doing a little bit of fix and flip. And then before that, I was a big hippie. I was actually traveling the world for about 7 years. It's an empty backpack. I had dreadlocks down below my butt. I had a big goatee going on. And then I was living in Israel at the time.
Is that right?
Yeah. And so we moved from Israel to Boca
Okay.
in 2009, when the world was on fire and the properties were going down in value and whatnot. And it's funny enough that my wife and I, we came to Boca looking to buy a house, live in it for a year, then renovate it and sell it, make some money, and go to Thailand and live on the beach somewhere and continue our hippie lifestyle. And I started flipping houses and wholesaling houses, and it was the lowest hanging fruit. And then slowly, I got into the multifamily. And before I was telling you about, the first multifamily deal I'd done, it was a duplex on the south side of Chicago. And it was one of the worst deals I've ever done. It was in the worst neighborhood. People told me not to buy in that area, but I was so excited that we got this deal under contract. It was my first multifamily. It was cheap. And that's kind of the one thing that I want people to really understand and learn. Don't fall in love with the property. Don't get excited that, oh my God, I finally got a deal on the contract. You really got to look at the location. You got to look at the numbers. And if the location is right, the numbers work, then it's a good deal, right? I was so excited that we went out and we did what our mentor told us to do. We went out and sent out flyers and letters to owners of multifamilies and whatnot. And the only person that answered us was the guy that had the duplex in the south side of Chicago. And I wonder why right? I remember we called a contractor once to give us a quote. And he calls me back and he goes, "Listen, I'm sorry, but I can't work on your property." He goes, "Thank God I had my gun on me." Because as I was getting out of my truck to go to your property, I was accosted by 3 gang members and they started shooting at me. So I had to pull out my gun and shoot back. So, I learned a lot on that duplex. And then from there, I went to buy a 4-unit property. And then I flipped 27 units. So it was a step-by-step, gradual, growth to where I am today.
So that's funny you say that, because I actually started one of the first properties I ever purchased was in Southwest Baltimore. So prime Britain area. The show The Wire, the very first episode was recorded like 2 blocks from my property. This is called a new light district. It's like police light up in every corner. So I feel you when you say you talk about the south side of Chicago. Like I understand that sentiment. So you started with a duplex in the south side of Chicago. Where are you at now?
So right now, the last projects that my team and I bought, we bought 3 student housing projects for around $60 million each. I've got multiple properties that I'm working to get under contract right now. Our letter of intent has been accepted. It's been, our offer was accepted. I'm working on a big project in Miami with a big university, 890-bed student housing. It's a $152 million project. So, we're throwing a lot of, hooks in the water, right? A lot of irons in the fire to see what pops and what goes. And, we're just working it up, raising capital, networking, meeting incredible people like yourself, do all that. Yeah, and working. So, it doesn't matter where you start from, right? Like I said, I started out on the rooftop, but you got to start somewhere.
Right.
And that's the beauty of multifamily. You don't need an education. You don't need a college education. I'm not college educated. I went to 4 years of school, never graduated, partied my ass off. Was a hippie, traveled the world 6, 7 years, and then I came back and I kind of fell into the multifamily world. And the idea is find someone, when I was 24 years old, I had a mentor in the closing. The greatest advice. And I teach that to my daughters and I tell it to everybody I meet. Find someone who has what you want. Do what they did. And get what they got. Simple as that. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. So I went out and I was looking for people who had the relationship that I wanted, who had the confidence that I wanted, who had the business that I wanted, the cash flow, the lifestyle. And I said, what are you doing differently than everybody else? And I learned from them. And I did exactly what they did. I didn't invent the wheel. I didn't try to figure out what the next widget is. I said, how do you raise capital? This is how I raise capital. How do you underwrite? This is how I underwrite.
Right.
What kind of property are you looking for? This is what we're looking for. And I went out and I just duplicated and duplicated and duplicated. And, now, thank God, going out there, I'm able to go out and do $5 million deals, $10 million, $20 million. And it's all about the people that I have surrounded.
Your network is at work.
Absolutely, 100%.
Absolutely.
We were just talking to a gentleman who was just standing here. He said he was raising $17 million doing it retail bid. Retail meaning going out for individual investor, raising 50,000, 100,000, 200,000. So imagine how many people you need to talk to get them to invest so that you can get $17 million. That's a huge network of people.
Right.
Right. So when you have a network like that listens to you, that you nurture, you can go out and you can scale your business and you can change your life overnight.
So like what is one of the key things? Like you just said a whole lot like right there. Like I just go back, but when it comes to capital raise, the average person that's listening to this, they're struggling to make millions of them. They're struggling. The investors that are watching this, they may be trying to struggle to get a they so like right now, I knew it's close to being in various loans. But when you hear numbers like 6 million or going to $17 million raise at $600 million raise, like these type of numbers are becoming more and more common to me. But to the average person, most people can't fathom like that's these side. So like what was that one thing that made that super get there? Say, this is really attain this type of success and attain this type of.
That's a great question. And I appreciate everyone that is looking at the video going, yeah, that's great, but that's for you. That's not for me. Remember, guys, I was a long-haired hippie. Okay. I had dreadlocks below my butt, had a big goatee, and I'm not a college graduate. I didn't know how to raise capital. I went out and I found a mentor. I found someone and I paid them a lot of money. I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to pay you a crap ton of money. You teach me everything you know. And I watch and I learn and I listen. Again, now I help people go out and you figure out what's your strategy. And I tell people, start off small. Let's go out and buy a duplex. Let's go and buy a duplex. And let's go talk to 2 or 3 people that you know. And have them invest $20,000, $30,000 right? And cash flow $300, $400 a month. Odds that if you can somebody else's money. Right. How often is that? It's simple. Your phone bill, your car payment, your electric, your water. You don't have to worry about that. Right? Now you do that and you say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go out and buy another deal. And that's $400. And it's my car payment. I'm gonna go out and do another duplex. And that's gonna be my phone, my water bill, my utility bill. And then you say, you know what? And you start off slow and you build it up. You build it to where suddenly you're confident enough. So you say, you know what? I went out and I networked. Right? You just said it. Your network is your network. So I go out and I network all the time. That's why I'm here. That's why you're here. We're here to meet you. I'm here to find out what is it that you need. Right? What are your desires? What are your wants? I don't want to say, hey, you know what? Listen, I've got to get up. Hey, let's talk. Let's see how we can work together. Right. Now, you may say, Nitzan, this is not for me, and I respect that. Now let's go and move on and move on and move on until we raise confidence. So don't look at those 10 million. I don't even look at $1 million. That's because, when I grew up in New York City, I used to walk down the streets and looking at all those skyscrapers going, who in God made her had so much money they can build the tallest building on the planet, New York City. And then I learned that, you know what, it's not them. They went and they grouped a bunch of people together that had money. So my question to you is, and to everybody listening, why aren't you going out and going to these different rooms like we're here tonight? There's going to be 250 people. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know who. I was in Vegas at that weekend, and I met a British lord. A lord. His partner owned the most Bitcoin of anyone on the planet. Do you think they have a little bit of money? Do you think they have connection? A little, that I don't have. Do you think that they may turn me on to people that I don't know? Now, what did I do during that weekend? And this is what you guys should do. I didn't talk to them about any of my dealers. I didn't say, hey, you want to invest in multifamily? Hey, I got this, hey, I got that. I said, all I did was build a relationship with them. I went out, sat with them, asked them questions about who they are, what they're doing, what they're passionate about, why they do what they do, how I can feel, what is it that you're looking for? Okay, is there anybody in my network that I can turn you on to? What can we do together? I want to add value to them and not look in it for money. I'm not worried about what's in it for me. I want to help you achieve your goal. So turn that around. Networking is not about what can I get out of it, but what can I do for you? Go out and network. Find out how you can add value to people. Now, mind you, don't ask someone, hey, Israel, how can I add value for you? Because I get that a lot. People come up and say, hey, Nitzan, how can I add value to you? I have no idea. I don't know what you can. I don't know what you can do. So instead of going to someone and say, hey, how can I add value? Find out what they need. Find out what they're struggling with in their business, where they're going, what their desires are, and then see privately how you can add value to them and then bring that value to them. And then you'll be surprised at the doors that are opening up. Because this guy told me, I was on the phone with him today, driving down there, and he goes, you know what? I love people like you. You guys have the right mindset. You can do so many things together. I never once told him, hey, I'd love for you to invest, or who do you know that would like to invest? Never once talked about my business or about what I'm looking for. I'm like, hey, man, let me know what, who are you looking for? What's your client? What's your network? Where can I, who can I turn you on? Because I have connections that you probably don't. So let me see, who do you need to talk to while you're in the U.S.? Oh, I'm looking for this, for that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Okay. And I'll run through my book of people and I'll start connecting. And that's it. And that's it.
It always comes back to you. Whatever you put out there, always comes back to you.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. So tell me this, how do you help the average person?
That's a great question. And I appreciate that. So being someone who's not a college graduate, I'm some dude. I want to help people go out and achieve success. So I created my mentorship program. I created a group of people that go out and help each other. I give you all the tools necessary to go out and build your business from. If you want to buy a duplex, if you want to buy a 10 unit, 100 unit property, I give you the tools. We go to a lot of these events and they're rah, rah, rah. They get you motivated. And then you go home and Monday you're back at the same grind, same whatever. It wasn't matter. Right. It wasn't matter. I go here. This is a hammer. This is how you use a hammer. This is a paintbrush. This is how you use it. Oh, and here's some paint for you to paint the wall. And I'll stand next to you and I'll say, hey, you know what? You might want to do with this. You might want to do it that way. I'm your sounding board. I have a team of people that can help you and give you the tools necessary for you to be successful in what you do. So I've created this mentorship program that I wish I had when I was getting started. Really taking people by the hand and showing you step by step how to capture the break, how to find the right market, how to analyze the deal to make sure that this is the right deal to get into. You're going to be getting money from other people, right? So I want to make sure that you are in the right deal. And I want to tell you how to talk to your network so that you can raise capital.
Absolutely. That's dope. So you go offer people help through the mentorship. So what is it exactly that you get from doing this? If someone is out here watching this, you said don't use the term how can we bring value to you. But like what are some of the things you need help with in this?
So in my business, I need people to help marketing. I need investor relations, right? Always people that can help. I need to meet new investors. Because I can only go up to you as when I say, hey, Israel, I got a deal. Hey, okay, I'll bet. Until you tell me, Nitzan, listen, I'm tapped out. Give me 6 months, a year until I can, get my things together, right? So I'm always building my network with people. So I'm always looking for new investors. And when I say who's an investor, that's like anybody. You're an investor. I'm an investor. My friend who I've known since I'm 14 years old, he's an investor. The person that I met on the plane, you know, everybody and anybody is an investor. If they're not an investor or they can't invest, they know like that. Who can, right? So I'm looking for people to turn me on to their network and introduce me.
Awesome. So how can my viewers out there contact you? Where do they find
Yeah, man. So my phone number is 561-212-7247. Or you can go to my website, multifamilyinc.com. Multifamilyinc.com. And if you want to work with me, go to multifamilyinc.com/application. I have an application on my website. Go there, fill it out. I call you back, not some VA, not some bot, it's me that's going to be calling you and talking to you. And if you go on my website, I've got tons of free stuff. I've got property management interview questions. I've got due diligence checklists. I've got all this free stuff. You can find me on social media as The Traveling Investor. The Traveling Investor. I've got a YouTube channel. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff.
So I listen, man. I appreciate you for taking the time to see the video for me and my for acknowledging to me. I will take along with it, and I definitely look forward to doing some business with you. So, guys, listen. One of the things I gotta learn, and y'all always hear me say on my videos, anytime you're starting something new, get in the right hands with the right people. If you want to accelerate your success, and find the right people to mentor you. And you have to find a way, like, not to take from them, but to add to them. And this is a successful investor right here. He's doing things on a major scale. Everything that I teach you on my other videos that I preach on my other videos, y'all just heard it directly out of his mouth. And this is a man that has achieved great success. So listen, make sure y'all follow him. I'm gonna see y'all on the next video. Thank y'all for watching.